it's me, Teacher Jeanne, and in this lesson, you will learn about triangle inequality theorems such as side angle inequality, angle side inequality. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to first, illustrate the theorems on triangle inequalities, angle side and side angle inequality theorems. Second, apply the theorems on the triangle inequalities to determine the possible measures of the angles and sides of the triangles. And for the last, appreciate the values and importance of using the theorems on triangle inequalities in real-life situations. Now, before we proceed, let's have a recall. For activity 1, in the figure below, name the opposite angles of the given sides. First, we have line segment PD. The opposite angle is angle E. For number 2, line segment BI, the opposite angle is angle BDI. So as you can see, it should be 3-letter name because point D form two angles and they share a common vertex. So it should be angle BDI. For number 3, we have line segment PE. The opposite of it is angle PDE. It should also be a 3-letter name. And point D is the vertex and must be at the center. For number 4, the opposite angle of line segment PD is angle I. And for number 5, the opposite angle of line segment ED is angle P. Now let's proceed on the name of the opposite sides of the given angles. For number 6, the opposite side of angle B is line segment ID. For number 7, the opposite side of angle E is line segment PD. For number 8, the opposite side of angle EDP is line segment PE. For number 9, the opposite side of angle P is line segment ED. And for the last, for number 10, the opposite side of angle BDI is line segment BI. Now let's have another activity using the 3 sets of paper strips with the indicated measures in centimeters. Try to form a triangle and write your findings on the table. On the first set, we have 4 centimeters, 10 centimeters, and 16 centimeters. On the second set, we have 5 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and we have 12 centimeters. And for the third set, we have 4 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and 10 centimeters. Now let's try to form a triangle. And let's write your findings on the table. On the first column, we have the length of straws given A, B, and C. On the second column, we have the question, do the straws form a triangle? On the third column, we're going to compare the sum of A plus B to C. And on the fourth column, we're going to compare the sum of A plus C to B, and on the last column, we are going to compare the sum of B plus C to A. Now on the first set, given 4, 10, and 16, the answer is no. On the second set, given 5, 7, and 12, the answer is also no. On the third set, given 4, 8, and 10, the answer is yes. Now let's proceed on the comparison. So here we are going to use less than, greater than, or equal. So on the first set, we have the sum of A plus B. A is 4 plus your B is 10. The result is 14. And 14 is less than your C, which is 16. Next, A plus C. A is 4 plus your C is 16. The result is 20. And 20 is greater than your B, which is 10. B plus C. B is 10 plus your C is 16. The result is 26. And 26 is greater than your A, which is 4. Now, on the second set, we have the sum of A plus B. A is 5 plus B is 7. The result is 12. And 12 is equal to your C, which is also 12. Next, A plus C. Your A is 5 plus your C is 12. The result is 17. And 17 is greater than your B, which is 7. Next, B plus C. B is 7 plus C is 12. The result is 19. And 19 is greater than A is 5. Now for the last set, we have a plus b, a is 4, plus b is 8, the result is 12, and 12 is greater than the c, which is 10. Next, a plus c, a is 4, plus c is 10, the result is 14, and 14 is greater than the b, which is 8. And for the last, b is 8, plus c is 10, the result is 18, and 18 is greater than a, which is 4. Now, when do the straws form a triangle? Based on the comparison, we have the inequality symbol greater than. So we have here what we call the Triangle Inequality Theorem, which means the sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. So therefore, a plus b must be greater than c, a plus c must be greater than b, and b plus c must be greater than a. So we have the Triangle Inequality Theorem. Now for further understanding, let's do more. For letter A, state if the three numbers can be the measures of the sides of a triangle. For number 1, we have the given 3, 7, 9. For the solution, 3 plus 7 is 10, greater than 9. Next, 3 plus 9 is 12, and 12 is greater than 7. And for the last, 7 plus 9 is 16, greater than 3. So the answer is yes. Now for number 2, given 4, 6, and 10, for the solution, 4 plus 6 is 10, and 10 is equal to 10. So the answer is no. And for number 3, given 3 5s, the solution is 5 plus 5 is 10, and 10 is greater than 5. So the answer is yes. For number 4, given 6, 7, and 15, for the solution, 6 plus 7 is 13, and 13 is less than 15. So the answer is no. Now for letter B, two sides of a triangle have the following measures. Find the range of the possible measures for the third side. We are going to use the formula. So we are going to start on the middle, the unknown side or x, greater than the difference of the two sides, but less than the sum of the two sides. Now for number 1, given 4 and 7, what will be the possible measure for the third side? So for the solution, we have x greater than 4 but less than 7. Now on the left side, we are going to subtract the two sides, and on the right side, we're going to add the two sides. So we have x is greater than 7 minus 4 but less than 7 plus 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3, and 7 plus 4 is 11. So the result is x is greater than 3 but less than 11. So there could be any value for the third side between 3 and 11. So those are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we cannot use 3 because 4 plus 3 is 7, and that is equal to 7. We cannot use 11 because 4 plus 7 is 11, and 11 is equal to 11. So these are the values of the x that are possible measures for the third side. We can use 4 because 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 is greater than 7. We can also use 10 because 4 plus 7 is 11, and 11 is greater than 10. And to write it in simpler, we can use x is greater than 3 but less than 11. Now for number 2, given 28 and 13, what are the possible measures for the third side? For the solution, we can write x is greater than 13 but less than 28. Next, we are going to get the difference of the two sides on the left side, and on the right side is the sum of the two sides. So 28 minus 13 is 15, and 28 plus 13 is 31. So x is greater than 15 but less than 31. So there could be any value for the third side between 15 and 31. And those are 16, 17, 18, 19, and so on and so forth until 30. And to make it shorter, we can write it as x greater than 15 but less than 31. So if the third side is 16, 13 plus 16 is 29, and 29 is greater than 28. And if the third side is 30, 28 plus 13 is 31, and 31 is greater than 30. Now for activity 2, using a protractor, answer the following activities. Indicate the measures in your table. Now given triangle FUN, the length of the sides, UN is 4.5, FN is 5.5, and we are going to measure the angle opposite the side. The opposite of UN is angle F, and we are going to get the measure of angle F using the protractor. Now take note, we are going to align the side on 0 and place the center of the protractor on the vertex. Now as you observe, we have here the numbers on the outer part of the protractor, and we have also the numbers on the inner part of the protractor. And take note, the starting point is always 0. So we are going to use the numbers on the inner part of the protractor. So we have 0, 10, 20, 30, and that is in between of 30 and 40, so we have 35 degrees. Next, the opposite of FN is angle U. And if we are going to measure angle U, starting from 0, we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and in between of 50 and 60 is 55 degrees. And for the last, we have the measure of angle N. But take note, the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. If we have already 35 degrees plus 55 degrees, that is equal to 90 degrees. The remaining to make it 180 is 90 degrees. Now, if you're going to check, the numbers starting from 0 is on the outer part of the protractor. So we have 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And we got it correct. Now, we have here what we called the side angle inequality theorem. In a triangle, if one side is longer than the other side, the angle opposite the longer side is the larger angle. So if FN 5.5 is greater than UN 4.5, then the measure of angle U, which is the opposite of FN, is greater than the measure of angle F, which is the opposite of UN. And line segment FU is the longest side and opposite of the largest angle, which is angle N. So if FU is greater than FN and FN is greater than UN, then the measure of angle N is greater than the measure of angle U, and the measure of angle U is greater than the measure of angle F. And that is what we call the side angle inequality theorem. Now, for you to understand, let's do more. For letter A, name the smallest angle and the largest angle of the following triangles. For number 1, given triangle AIM, the largest angle is angle I, which is the opposite of the longest side, which is AM, 18. And for the smallest angle, we have angle M, which is the opposite of the shortest side, AI, 9. For number 2, we have triangle TRY. The largest angle is angle R, which is the opposite of the longest side, TY, 7. And for the smallest angle, we have angle Y, which is the opposite of the shortest side, TR, 5. And for number 3, triangle HAD, the largest angle is angle A, which is the opposite of the longest side, HD, 34. And the smallest angle is angle D, which is the opposite of the shortest side, HA, 16. Now let's proceed on letter B. Arrange the angles in ascending or increasing order. And that will be the smallest angle less than the larger angle less than the largest angle. So when we say increasing, from smallest to largest. Now for number 1, in triangle HOT, the smallest angle is angle H, opposite the shortest side, TO, 7. Less than the larger angle is angle O, which is the opposite of the longer side, DH, 9. Less than the largest angle is angle T, which is the opposite of the longest side, HO, 12. So therefore, angle H is less than angle O less than angle T. Now for number 2, in triangle SUN, the smallest angle is angle S, which is the opposite of the shortest side NU3, less than the larger angle is angle U, which is the opposite of the longer side SN8, less than the largest angle is angle N, which is the opposite of the longest side SU10. So we can say that angle S is less than angle U less than angle N. Now for number 3, in triangle MAD, the smallest angle is angle M, which is the opposite of the shortest side AD20, less than the larger angle is angle A, which is opposite the longer side MD25, less than the largest angle is angle D, which is the opposite of the longest side MA30. So we can say that angle M is less than angle A less than angle D. Now, let's proceed on activity 3. Using a ruler, answer the following activities. Indicate the measures in your table. In triangle RED, the measure of the angles are given. The measure of angle R is 80 degrees. The measure of angle E is 32 degrees. The measure of angle D is 68 degrees. So we are going to get the length of the sides opposite the angles using the ruler. So the opposite of angle R is ED, and the measure of ED using the ruler. So in centimeter, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In between 11 and 12, we have 11.5. Next, the opposite of angle E is RD. Using the ruler, the measure of RD is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 centimeter. And the opposite of angle D is RE. Using the ruler, the measure of RE is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 centimeter. So we have here what we called the angle side inequality theorem. In a triangle, if one angle is larger than the other angle, the side opposite the larger angle is the longer side. So we can say, if the measure of angle R, 80 degrees, is greater than the measure of angle D, 68 degrees, greater than the measure of angle E, 32 degrees, therefore, ED, 11.5, is greater than RE, 10, greater than RD, which is 7. So we have the angle side inequality theorem. For further understanding, let's do more. For letter A, name the shortest side and the longest side of the following triangles. For number 1, we have triangle END. The longest side is line segment EN. That is the opposite the largest angle, which is angle D, 78 degrees. And the shortest side is line segment DN, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle E, 40 degrees. Now for number 2, triangle FRY, the longest side is line segment FY, which is the opposite of the largest angle, angle R, 86 degrees. And the shortest side is line segment RY, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle F, 21 degrees. Now on the third triangle, we have triangle POT. The longest side is line segment PT, which is the opposite of the largest angle, angle O, 110 degrees. And for the shortest side, that is line segment PO, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle T, 23 degrees. And for letter B, arrange the sides in descending or decreasing order. And that is from longest to shortest side. Longest side is greater than the longer side greater than the shortest side. So we have the greater than symbol. Now for number 1, in triangle SET, the longest side is line segment ET, which is the opposite of the largest angle, angle S 77 degrees. Greater than the longer side is line segment ST, which is the opposite of the larger angle, angle E 65 degrees. Greater than the shortest side is line segment SE, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle T 38 degrees. So we can see that line segment ET is greater than line segment ST greater than line segment SE. Now for number 2, in triangle BIG, the longest side is line segment IG, which is the opposite of the largest angle, angle B 74 degrees. Greater than the longer side is line segment BG, which is the opposite of the larger angle, angle I 60 degrees. Greater than the shortest side is line segment BI, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle G 46 degrees. So we can say that line segment IG is greater than line segment BG greater than line segment BI. Now for number 3, in triangle MAN, the longest side is line segment AM, which is the opposite of the largest angle, angle N, 80 degrees. Greater than the longer side is line segment MN, which is the opposite of the larger angle, angle A, 70 degrees. Greater than the shortest side is line segment AN, which is the opposite of the smallest angle, angle M, 30 degrees. So we can say that line segment AM is greater than line segment MN is greater than line segment AN.